and you become a slave of the system. Think about it. If you continue to eat McDonald's every day, you wash it down with a huge Coke, you go down, you don't work out, then you get home, you sit on the couch, drink 12 beers a night, you watch the programming that's on TV, you don't get smarter, your brain's not working, you're sedentary, you get up, go to bed.
And the music you listen to.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you sleep like shit because all the stuff that's in your system is all chemicals, doesn't allow you to sleep. So you don't fully rest, which means your body is always broken down. When you get up, you're lethargic. You don't feel like working out because you're too tired. Then you go to a job that you hate, then you're mentally stressed as well. Leads to mental problems, and you continue to eat the shit food. The shit food puts in your body. It feeds the bad thoughts in your head. So you either commit suicide or you get so obese that you can't move. You're on some sort of disability, and therefore you need the government to live. Now, who owns your life?
The government.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the DC Talks podcast with David Chinelli. I'm your co-host, Agent Double O, and we're back today for a very interesting topic, man.
Yeah, what are we talking about again? I'm joking.
Yo, don't scare me like that, man.
I got the notes in front of me too.
Yeah, you got the notes in front of you, everything. But man, you've seen the movie Leave the World Behind, the Clone Tyrone and everything.
Yeah, we've talked about it off air, of course. So the viewers, there's a couple movies out there, which you and I talked offline. Like first one was watch They Clone Tyrone.
They Clone Tyrone.
That was, I think I watched it before you did, I think. And we talked about it.
Yeah, because I messaged you about it. Like, yo, DC, you need to watch this
and I'm
movie.
like, already done.
Already watched it.
I watched that.
You're all over like white on rice.
Yeah. And then the second one, the End of the World one. Was it called?
Leave the World Behind.
Leave the World Behind.
Is this Sandra Bullock or?
No. It's Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah, Julia Roberts. Yes. Yeah, they kind of the
same
same personality.
The reason why I know the difference is like, okay, so I actually think she's prettier now than when she was younger. I just thought everyone made a big deal about her. I was just like not all about her.
When she was young, because I watched an Ocean's 11 with George Clooney, and I was like, why is she seen as such a sex symbol? No disrespect to her.
No disrespect. Exactly. Yeah. I was the same way. When she came out Pretty Women, I was like, she's okay.
She's like a regular lady.
There's other prettier girls.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being too harsh on her. I don't know. Maybe it's a dick.
The sex appeal just wasn't there for me.
But the older women, eh?
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? My brother DC.
Do not look at Owen's browser. All right. Oh God. All right. Here we go.
Let's get into the program, man. Let's get into the program. So
it's funny how you call it a program as you're programming people, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a show. We're not programming people. And that's what I always find. Like so many, like, again, this deals with the predictive programming.
Yeah.
Predictive programming, you got to be careful when somebody calls out a television program.
This TV program.
Why are they calling it a program?
Yeah.
What are they programming you to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are the hidden meanings? Guys, if you haven't realized, here, I'm talking to you in the camera. If you haven't realized what our entertainment sources are now, there's always an agenda.
Yeah.
Think about it. You don't watch a story if there's no plot.
Mm-hmm.
The plot always has some sort of meaning. What is it that they're teaching you? And when they're calling it a program, what are they programming you to do?
Programming how to think, what to say. You even see the way we're programmed now, right? The things that we use in our daily language. For example, now all, young people are saying that's cap, right? I always thought about how these words come into prominence.
Where did that come from?
That's cap, right?
Or no cap is the other one.
No cap.
No cap means it's bullshit or blue. Or,
exactly. Yeah. Like, I'm not lying to you, like no cap. And they just seem to peer the way we like, even like with women. And they talk about it's giving. Have you heard that term?
No.
It's giving. So for example,
like Thanksgiving?
Yeah, like so for example,
I'm so old.
Like no, it's not Thanksgiving, DC, but for example, you're wearing that orangey red shirt. Mm-hmm. So I can say your sweater, it's giving Halloween, right? Meaning
giving you Halloween vibes?
Halloween vibes. Or if I can see I can come out and I can see the weather, I can say it's giving rain, meaning it's showcasing me that something is rain.
God.
It's giving Isaac, what's another it's giving?
I get it. Just the terrible grammar drives the shit out of me. Like just the stuff that people say, like this, in just the lack of grammar in this day and age, and what they use, it just
the way we speak, it's so disgusting.
It's bad.
It's bad. Like and the little kids are, and the thing with TikTok, especially, just what's trendy you start picking up on it. It's giving even
So I don't know, when I throw a TikTok, I get a lot of Christian stuff. So I believe it or not, like I love their algorithm, but it's like I have to be in the right mindset. So like even like if you watch my TikToks, I guess I get a lot of Bible verses, a lot of, I don't know if you guys get this too, but I get a lot of inspirational things. No dances, no boobs and ass. It's great. I go on Instagram, it's total opposite.
Bro.
Like they push Instagram. I've talked about different programmings and different platforms and what their agendas are. And I just find that
disgusting.
Instagram is fucking horrible for that.
Breastfeeding just appeared on my For You page. I was like, how's Instagram allowing women just to showcase a boob?
Have you watched Facebook lately?
Same thing.
No, Facebook's even worse.
Facebook Watch?
Oh my God. So I'm watching a reel on Facebook, and a couple of the ads they have full on sex, full on like penetration, penises and vaginas
on Facebook.
I started showing Natalie. I'm like, she's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, it's an ad. It's an ad to grow your penis. So like, oh, you want to be jacked like this porn star? And it's like, and I'm like, man, I'm not clicking on anything. And I'm like, what? And and I'm like seeing it's the algorithm. It's like just a regular algorithm. You're watching. Believe it or not, I was watching like bunnies and dogs and kitty cats.
Yeah.
If you watch my Instagram, you know I love cats.
You love cats.
I love animals. I love cows. I love, but I have an affection towards cats and dogs. Grew up with them, love them. And I was watching a kitty cat. Fucking the next one we scroll up, and I'm like,
this banging,
full on penetration.
Throttle. Yeah. Digging deep.
A little different kitty. That's right.
Give it a little cat nap after, you know what I'm saying?
I just wasn't expecting that, you know?
I hear you.
Imagine my kid was sitting beside me.
Yeah. She'd be like, yo, you're a sicko, dad. What are you looking at?
I swear to God, I'm like, I didn't do anything. Like, some stuff I get. Like, honestly, if you're on a porn site and your kid sits beside you, I get it. Like, listen, you should be a better parent.
Yeah, Twitter's notorious. Even Isaac, you have like your Twitter feed is full of pornography. It's disgusting.
Your Twitter feed's full of pornography? So I lost my Twitter account. Yeah. Yeah. If I open it right now. If you open up your Twitter, you get pornography? So I don't look at Twitter. I don't use Twitter.
Porn on Twitter is very, it's like a liberating platform. Like they normalize it. Like it's called X right now. I don't know if you know that, but
of course, yeah,
it's called X.
I'm not living under a rock. I do have Twitter. I don't use it as my wife sends me stuff on there too. So we communicate. Like she likes Twitter for all the updates. Now maybe she likes it for the porn for all we know. I guess apparently. No, but I know it's an X. Sorry, so I do know it's X. I am on the platform, but I don't post a lot on it. I
think you should post more on it. I think it'll be good for exposure.
I just see a lot of people getting into fights. It's like, again, I have to figure out, I've never really used it. So I believe it on, like, as much as I'm advanced, like, you know, for more 45-year-olds my age on all the in social medias, I'm probably more advanced than maybe more the next 45-year-old. The one platform I have never really used was Twitter. Yeah. So maybe I should try to test that out. Maybe Twitter. My new year, but that's my new resolution.
We can even test out some of the videos on Twitter.
All right, I'll try it.
See how it goes, right? Just get some engagement. But the reason we bring these ideas up is because we're talking about the movie They Clone Tyrone, They Leave the World Behind. And if you haven't seen these movies yet, but the whole synopsis of both movies is that they're sort of highlighting a hidden truth of what is currently happening or what is going to happen. For example, the premise of They Clone Tyrone is that essentially in every part of America, there exists a group of people who are deep underground, and they're essentially controlling everything. The chemicals they put in our food, the things they put in our hair products, the things we drink, the TV shows that we watch, and the things that we listen to. Essentially, it's formulating our minds to behave in a uniform-like manner in everything we do. So,
and then there's clones.
and they're cloned, right? So think of these places where you live as a stage. A lot of these people, they're pretty much brain dead. That's the way they're showcasing in these movies, that they're not really real. They're there as placeholders, and they play characters towards real people living their lives, and they're just pushing a message.
Yeah.
You saw this movie before me, DC. Give me your take on it.
So I thought it was, in the beginning watching it, it was funny. It was first of all, I didn't know, like, where's Tyrone? Yeah. At the end, I don't know. There was a lot to unleash on that too, like finding the underground people, people that are placed in your life that actually aren't real, that they're part of another agenda, they're part of a group. Some people that are clones, they didn't know they were clones, realizing that people are being replaced. So to me, it was predictive programming in the sense that it's happening right in front of our eyes. Now, this is where our conspiracy theories come in. Like there are, and we talk about a little later on, I know you put these notes, but there are some celebrities which we think have been cloned.
Yeah.
And they've talked, there's some that come out and they've said before they're cloned by numbers. Remember that one guy with all the tattoos? He's told them the number cloning is possible. Mm-hmm. So what I also think is like the program is also trying to normalize things, right? So one thing is they're trying to normalize cloning, showing you that it's already happening.
It's happening. It's
already happening. And they put it in front of your face. Again, we've talked about this before where the satanic agenda is they put things in front of you. Mm-hmm. They have to show you what they're doing. So when they do it, they said, well, we didn't lie to you. We showed you what we're doing.
It's already,
we thought happening. It was entertainment, but that's really happening.
Yeah.
So that's also part of the predictive programming. Mm-hmm. So when I saw this agenda, Natalie and I just looked at each other like, oh shit, here we go. But also the part about the food and the dumb people, people don't realize the shit that we're eating. Mm-hmm. Why is like a McDonald's meal cheaper than going get organic food at the grocery store and cooking it yourself? What are they putting in the chemicals? What are they doing to you?
Yeah.
They're showing you what they're doing. They're dumbing you down. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you don't need to go outside and exercise. Being obese is beautiful.
Body positivity.
Body positivity. Oh, you don't have to change who you are. Forget about it. Sit on the couch. It's great. It's great. Drink this beer. It's fine. Oh, you can't afford to live in this life. Why don't you just escape your day and enjoy this bottle of Jack Daniels and escape? Guess what's in the Jack Daniels? Like, it's all about dumbing you down, making you complacent, making you too fat to run away. Mm-hmm. And obviously, if they decrease your health, and you're reliant on the system.
And they calcify your pineal gland. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so of course.
That whole thing, like your pineal gland is essentially where you get your superpower. It's like a godlike ability that we all have and we don't know we have it. The ability to think and to foresee things and to feel the vibration at a different level when it's not really calcified.
So I know some people get into too much new age stuff when it comes to the pineal gland and all that too, but I would like to say it's just like, it's God's way of giving us free will.
Yeah.
So if you calcify your pineal gland, that also, it diminishes your free will and you become a slave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Simply put. Yeah.
And you become a slave of the system. Think about it. If you continue to eat McDonald's every day, you wash it down with a huge Coke, you go down, you don't work out. Then you get home, you sit on the couch, drink 12 beers a night. You watch the programming that's on TV. You don't get smarter. Your brain's not working. You're sedentary. You get up, go to bed. You sleep like shit.
And the music you listen to.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you sleep like shit because all the stuff that's in your system is all chemicals, doesn't allow you to sleep. So you don't fully rest, which means your body is always broken down. When you get up, you're lethargic. You don't feel like working out because you're too tired. Then you go to a job that you hate, and therefore then you're mentally stressed as well. It leads to mental problems. And you continue to eat the shit food. The shit food puts in your body. It feeds the bad thoughts in your head. So you either commit suicide or you get so obese that you can't move. You're on some sort of disability. And therefore you need the government to live. Now, who owns your life?
The government.
Yeah. And the only escape Mr. Trudeau gave to us, go kill yourself.
Yeah.
Here's an option for you.
Even if you look at the
you're struggling through life, Owen, go kill yourself. Great.
Can't believe the balls on this guy, man.
I know. I can't stand him.
Even the word government, when you look at govern and meant is mental. You remember that revival of wisdom I showed you, the guy whose videos, right? He broke it down like how they govern everything, our mental, because our mental is the holy grail. You know how he breaks down the top of the head, like look at our head, like the neck opens up like this. This is the holy grail. And the God within us exists through our mind and everything. The word of God is, the mouth of God is our mind. So the inner voice is the word of God, and heal is hell. So everything is like essentially a reflection of the Bible. Like every single part of the cerebrum, if you look at the head from the top, it's shaped like a ram, right? Like I don't want to get too deep into it, but
too late.
But that's the thing when you talk about government, right? They're governing our body. Going back to the predictive programming, one of the things that comes up a lot is this idea of the Simpsons. The Simpsons have showcased so many different episodes where...
Who are the Simpsons? I'm joking.
Yeah, I'm getting deep here.
No. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Right? They, things happen. Like, for example, when Trump became president, they showcased an episode that aired back in like I'm gonna put a random date to this, but let's say 2005.
I think it was earlier than that. But
Earlier than that, 2000. But
you can tell by the quality because they've changed like how much better the cartoon got.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it was one of the shittier qualities, and it mimicked exactly when he was on the stairwell, on the escalator,
everything,
100%.
Right? Even when we go back to our flat Earth discussion, right?
Yeah.
They showcased how how there's different ice rings and they have different domes, and then you come up and all these different domes existed for other TV shows. You've seen that, right?
Yeah. So, well, there's a lot of things with them. Even though the whole thing with the vaccine, there was a whole part. The flood, there was things like they have predicted over, and everyone's like, I'm like, oh my god, they've predicted again. See, that is predictive programming. I don't think so. Some of the ideas, if you are not watching The Simpsons, if you're been under a rock the last 30 years. So the Simpsons cultural show, exactly. I think everybody, I don't think you need an explanation who the Simpsons are. But I also believe that, so some people believe that that the creator, Matt Groening, is a time traveler. And he was traveling in time. You see all these things that he puts them into the TV show. And I'm like, you've heard about that theory? I would disagree with that 100%. What I think is doing is like he's showing you they already have, I believe the elite control this world. And they give us little snippets. They already know what's going to happen. They already have a program. They already have an agenda set up, what things are going to happen. I think Matt Groening has some sort of insight into this, and he puts it out there. Again, predictive program is showing you that it was there. So in case anything nefarious happens, they're just like, well, you knew this was going to happen. Like, we showed it to you. Yeah. So I believe he has some insights on this. And so when it comes to fruition, there's no backlash against the people doing the I guess the terrible things that they're doing. Yeah. Because they're saying, well, we've warned you about it. It's their way of warning people.
They call it karmic law. They can't do something to you without telling you first.
Exactly.
Because they know the laws of the universe. They know, like, in God's world, there's always karmic retribution at the end of everything bad that you have done to someone or to a group of people. So for them not to face karmic retribution, they have to impregnate your mind with the images, the ideas, and the voices which influence your thinking, which you think, oh yeah, this was my idea. But if you really think, your subconscious has been programmed to think like that.
What I laugh, we're talking about this off air, but I laugh at a lot of the videos or movies you're watching. They'll say something like, oh my God, I saw this on TV. This is how it's happened. They're showing you in the program what you're supposed to believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw this on TV, so I'm going to act this way. Well, by you watching that program, this is how they're expecting you to react. And they're showing you that kind of stuff. I don't know how you can't deny that. I think it's happened to like many, many different shows. Watch an ET show on TV, like it's on TV. And they're saying, oh, like I've seen this zombies do this. Like zombies all of a sudden are coming like a big thing. Like, well, I saw this movie once. You're supposed to kill a zombie by, putting in the head. Like, again, that's predictive programming. I saw in a movie. I saw on a TV.
Yeah.
They're doing that in the show. Sorry, I just had a little bit of
burpee.
a little burpee club.
Little wonton noodles there.
Yeah, we just had a good lunch. Yeah. So yeah, it's another way. This is also why I think they're pushing the alien agenda.
Yeah. They've
been telling us for years what they want us to believe who aliens are, which I don't believe is true. I've told you before in the past, I believe aliens are fallen angels. There's evidence behind that.
Yeah.
But there's their way of introducing these fallen angels as, and I'm saying, well, the way of introducing fallen angels as aliens is go back to the movies. We've been, I don't know how many years of cinema have been there, like centuries, like whenever the first movie came out, talking about weird things, and aliens have been part of it. It's like, but it's a part of predictive programming. They're here to attack, or they're here to this. It's like they're showing you what they're about.
Yeah. Even aliens. Did you see that whole thing in Miami?
Yeah.
What do you think?
They're walking around the street.
Walking around the street in the mall.
Yeah.
New Year's Day.
I haven't seen any footage. I've only seen the outside. People are like, well, they won't let us see what it looks like. Have you seen what they actually look like?
Apparently, when they were going to film, there was like a force that cleaned up every camera. So if you're trying to take a video or a photo, you wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, God has done that a lot of times too.
What, like turn off people's phones?
Yes. So have you heard about the whole theory about what happened with the Ark of the Covenant?
No.
Really? So the Ark of the Covenant, obviously where the 10 Commandments is kept.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the Ark.
Yeah.
And that has apparently been hidden for centuries, right? But there was this archaeologist, I think he was, God opened his eyes and showed him where the Ark of the Covenant was. But he went to go take pictures of it. God wouldn't let him take pictures of it. And the angels wouldn't show him. Like, apparently the angels came down to open up the ark and just showed him what was in there. But it wasn't ready for the world to reveal it.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years, and then years passed by that God was ready to do, then the pictures and stuff started work. And apparently where it's located is right below where Jesus was crucified. And the blood, there's actually blood on the Ark of the Covenant, which they've taken back to test what they said it's not of this world. It only has half of the DNA chromosomes. Because again, Jesus was only half human, right? He was from the Holy Spirit. So I think you're supposed to have 46 chromosomes, I believe, is that correct? Or 30, whatever it is, it's half. So they're like, so
wow.
Yeah. So they even have scientific proof that Jesus existed.
Yeah.
Right. But again, but God only allowed this archaeologist to reveal when at his time, at his leisure. And now they're saying that because the end of the world is supposedly coming up. Apparently, if you believe, like, whether you believe in that or not, now he's allowing them to open up people's eyes in the cameras. So that happened in this situation in Miami. And I also heard, so reason why I believe that aliens are fallen angels, it's not my conjecture. Something I read once, I was watching when I was getting into conspiracy theories and becoming Christian back in 2009, 2010. There was a guy who became Christian. And what he used to do is, like, he believed in aliens and he would record aliens and show them and put it on YouTube. But what he was seeing was some of the people were getting demonically possessed when they watched the video. So he was compelled. So he had this whole write-up. He's like, I have taken down all my videos because this was happening. Because I no longer believe that they're extraterrestrials. He goes, from what I've read and what God has opened me up is that they're actually, well, I guess extraterrestrials would be like, they would still be extraterrestrial, because even if they are fallen angels, devils, they're still extraterrestrial. But he goes, this is what they are. It was a portal for them. If you watch a video, a portal for you to open up to be demonically possessed. So could that be in this kind of situation? Is it the God blanking people from the vision? Because then if they were real aliens, fallen angels, could they possess you by watching the video? Is God protecting us that way? Or is it the other way? Is a way for us, is it the elite trying to push this new alien agenda?
Project Bluebeam.
Especially,
I find it weird, like how January 1st out of all days, right? And then the police try to cover it up with saying it was like a bunch of riffraffs fighting in the mall. And then you have a full force of police vehicles coming to the mall, shutting
and did you see
down.
The people running?
Yeah.
That was not a look of vandalism. I think that was a look of terror.
You can see the TikToks of people saying what they saw.
Yeah.
There's one cop who was talking to his son on FaceTime, and his son is asking him, his friend was recording the background and the dad is on FaceTime. And the son is asking his dad, what happened? You were there. And the dad's like, I'm not even allowed to talk about it because I just can't. It's like, Dad, come on. Like, what's going on? I'm sorry. I can't say anything. So they know what they saw. They know what's going on. So whatever that was, and apparently what people are saying, these beings were flashing from point A to point B. So for example, like where Isaac is right now, he's over there again.
Yeah.
Like people are freaking out, right? But these are some of the things that they're doing. It's either Project Bluebeam or it could be the fallen angels. Like, we don't know. Both things could be true at the same time. I wanted to get to the whole movie with the Leave the World Behind because it's very fresh. It's very new. And the whole premise is that everything is going to go into, hey, you're going to lose internet. You're going to lose power. And movies...
part of the predictive programming, but losing internet, what happened a couple of years ago with Rogers.
I was going to say that too. Can you believe that? Like, we lost power. I remember when that happened, everyone was just aimless. I remember coming out of the apartment. I took the stairs down. We went to the local shawarma joint. Guy couldn't even process payments. So he gave the food for free. And then my friends who live in the area, they came to mines and we're sitting in the balcony on a hot summer's day. And it's like, guys are like, yo, do you want to crack open a cold one? And I sat there. I was like, bro, guys, it's a freaking Tuesday. We should be working.
Yeah.
And you want to crack open a brewski right now. So everyone just, when you take away internet, and power from people, we become very primitive in our behavior. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I had to go pick up a deposit check. Actually, going to meet my client, the same client now after this podcast. I had to go pick up, and he lives in Richmond Hill. I've never been to his house because I'd sold this. I always meet his investment property, so I've sold an investment property. He bought another investment property and rented it out. And he's like, gave me his address, and I'm like, I don't live in Richmond Hill. I don't know how to get here. And I went into my car, and thank God my car had a GPS. Like all cars have a GPS, right? Yeah. Because I use Waze. Because Waze gets around the city, the best route here and there. And I'm like, holy shit, I have no idea where I'm going. So I prayed to God that the address I'm putting in was right. And like, in case I got lost, I was screwed. Like, because you can't call you couldn't call anybody. You're just left there.
You're useless.
You're useless. Absolutely useless. The only thing, like, and how was the only way? And that's when Rogers was down, and I think other people that had Bell were okay. It was just odd.
You know what they're saying about that? That was a test.
Yeah.
They do these things, they practice, like little by little. Okay, how are they going to act when they can't process transactions? They can't check anything.
So this is what I think it makes me wonder about. I'm not a huge fan of digital currency. I think other things will become a currency before that. We can lose. Again, that's the elite showing you that you will have nothing and be happy with it. They will convert
we'll eat the bugs.
Yeah. We will convert everything to digital currency, and then the digital will go away, and you'll be left with whatever's on your back. Makes you wonder, like, what the hell? What's going to happen? So this is exactly what's happening in the movie. Well, what do you do when your phone doesn't work? What do you do when, remember we were at with Kevin Bacon, he's at that point, he's like, what are you going to give me? Because I have everything here. I have nothing. I'm like, I have nothing to give you. Like, you want money? He's like, what's money going to, like, you end up paying him money, but physical money.
And what am I going to do with that cash?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, if you're in a barter system, if the system goes to shit, like, then will money be worth anything? Because it's not backed by gold. Like, who cares? The system's all down.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be back to trading a loaf of bread for, I don't know, like a bicycle or something like barter system. Is that what we're going to do? So is this what they're telling us this might happen? So if we switch to a digital currency, which again, the whole thing with digital currency is all about control. It's the same thing with fucking electric cars. I cannot stand electric cars.
They'll control how far you can go and when you can use your car. Yo, DC, you said something reckless on your podcast. You know what? We're shutting down your car for a week.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to happen. Because you got to register your car. You got to register your phone, your social medias, and everything.
Well, you hear about the kill switch that they're going to make you put in gas cars too, as of 2026.
A kill switch?
There's a kill switch apparently. Now that every car will need by the year of 2026, that again, if you say anything, they can just shut off your car, even a gas car. So I think the idea that people don't realize right now is all of your cars can actually be shut down digitally. Like, I guess the electric ones are easier. Just click. But apparently, well, think about OnStar was on the while, like for a while, like they have apparently the technology.
Practice again. Yeah.
So you'd have to be, and if you disable it, then you're like, you can be on the radar. Anyway, like there's a lot of negative. So that reminds me of predictive programming. Do you remember in Minority Report with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Yeah, where they had like the 3 people that were supposed to be able to see in the future, and you had to have your retina scans, and if you're out of the system, like you had to take this thing out of your eye, and you know, like almost being incognito. Well, they're showing you what the future they want it to look like. They want to have control over everything, because you couldn't go in a car because already the retinas, everything, the retina scanners were everywhere. It was in your eyes. There's an implant in you that they can follow you along everywhere. They're basically telling us that's what they want. That's what the elite wants.
And you know what's interesting too? I feel at some level, humans crave that feeling of authority. I saw it back in the whole pandemic times. People love being told what to do and how to act. They crave authority over them. You know, we like to say we love freedom, but at some level, you crave a boss. I saw the way people were acting. I was like, bro, you just follow the rules. I'm like, dude, do you hear yourself talking? Follow the rules? Well, bro, you're supposed to have it like above your nose. You're gonna get people sick.
And the rules kept changing.
They're just moving the goalpost. Oh, yo, you can come here today. Oh, you can't come in. Oh, you can come in. You're coming to my wedding.
Listen,
you can't come today.
Yeah. And I always say this: you never forget what they did to you.
Never. And they
never forget what they did to us.
swept it on the rug. And look
How many
we just
people
moved
lost
along.
family members they couldn't even go see them in their last moments of their lives? How many people weren't allowed to go to weddings, weren't allowed to go to funerals, pay respects? How many people got kicked out of other people's their own homes? Right? It's the rules which other people are setting up for them and which people wanted to follow. Which think about that. That was just, again, I still think the pandemic is a small snippet. Predictive programming, what they're expecting the future to be.
And this
so explain that was a whole experiment, and how people react. People say now, I mean, like, oh, that will never happen again. Bullshit.
It's definitely going to happen.
It's going to happen. No, what I mean is, like, people say, oh, I'll never be duped again. Bullshit. So many people, like you said, want to follow online. They don't want to be, they don't want to be free. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to ask questions. They just want to be told. And it 100% could and will happen again. That was the dress rehearsal.
DC, the world is a stage. This is a whole drama play, right? And we're just the puppets, right? They're just like above us, moving strings along, moving this one. Okay, think like this. Okay, move like this. Think like this. Okay. And this whole thing with the predictive program, especially with the movie Leave the World Behind, you're seeing how some people are preparing for this. Like Mark Zuckerberg, all these elites, they're building underground bunkers.
Yeah.
When you heard that news, what did you think? They know something we don't know.
Oh, of course. Oh, 100% they know. I'm just surprised it got leaked out to the news. But again, maybe I'm not surprised. They're showing people, well, we've already put, like, what are you doing to plan for this? You should be planning. So the problem I have with this is, like, because in the Bible it talks about second coming, we don't know what's going to come. People are going to be eating and drinking as the days of Noah. And when the second coming of Christ is coming. So they're trying to push the agenda, right? So whenever this second coming happens, they're going to try to hide out. The problem is that they've been pushing this so long that, like, people like myself, I used to prepare. Like, I remember, like, I was worried about it like 10 years ago. So I remember I bought some cans and stuff and water and, like,
toilet paper.
Like, now, like 10 years later, it didn't happen. So what they're doing is kind of putting dangling in front of you and, like, oh, it's not really going to happen. Don't worry about it. Mark Zuckerberg is, like, saying, like, well, I built this cabinet. I told you about it. Maybe in 10 years, 15 years, he's going to need it. But at that time, we're like, well, we also prepared for ourselves. We didn't go in anywhere. We just thought you were crazy at the time. He's like, but the predictive programming will show you, like, I showed you what was going to happen. It's not my fault you didn't listen. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's even back at the time, like 2020. I found it interesting how the first thing we wanted to hoard was toilet paper. Toilet paper, bro. Toilet freaking paper. Legit.
I don't get it. I don't get it, dude. I don't.
That's when I switched to a bidet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just jump in the shower, away and wash your ass. I don't know. Like, that, to me, I think people lost their minds when people started to, like, it only took one person to start buying more toilet paper, and the next person's like, oh my God, maybe I should do that. And then it also became like
herd mentality.
Yeah, herd mentality.
Yeah.
So, but why do we? I know I was just looking. We need to wrap up soon.
I'm enjoying this chat.
I know, but the thing is, I don't understand is, why don't we have herd mentality in the positive sense? Why don't we use predictive programming that we've seen with the elites push us, and people push back and say, no, we can't do this. So we've talked about this. Like, I know Hollywood is obviously run by a satanic cult. We know that. And people that would push back against that, like, obviously don't know. Hollywood, the word Hollywood comes from
the tree, the holy tree.
Which they use to make wands and which they can cast spells. That's where the name Hollywood came from. Hollywood, right? That's where it came from, because they're still casting spells on you. Now, the one thing I do appreciate is that there's a Christian, I forget the name of the company coming out. They came out with that. Remember I was telling you about those movies before about, now they came out with The Shift. They came out with the movie actually where he was in prison. We were talking about that. Nefarious. It's the same company, and it's a Christian kind of company trying to push back and say, with their Christian beliefs, like, not all of it has to be predictive programming. There could be positive messages. Again, remember, look at the elite and look at the plot of which they're trying to bring about. Now, before we cancel this, end this conversation, there's a new show coming out on Amazon Prime.
Which one?
Which I think we all need to cancel our Amazon Prime subscriptions. And it's supposed to be this cartoon about, and this is what we're teaching our children, about how Satan was actually had ideas what to do with humanity, and he was shunned against and kicked out of it because of his ideas. He was not because he was a bad person, was thinking about himself. And he's actually the good character, and how God is the bad one, bringing down angels every certain amount of years and to kill all the devils in which they would, and all of Satan's allegiance. It's absolutely disgusting. But this is what the predictive program is teaching our children, programming them that Satan is the good guy. God will come again, but he's the bad guy. Again, part of predictive programming, and it's on Amazon Prime. I'll look at the name of it. Was some, I think Anna Fucci, one of my mortgage brokers, she sent it to me.
Anna Fucci, my girl. I love Anna.
I love Anna. She's awesome. But she sends me a lot of stuff too. And I was watching this, and I was watching on the way back home on Thursday from the basketball game with Natalie. And we were watching in the car. So I was listening to in the car, and she got to see it. I was going to throw up. And this is on regular Amazon Prime television show. I'll send you the link if I can find it again. But I'm glad that now that we're trying to have, if you're a Christian or you believe, or you're just against the agenda of the elite and the programming they're putting us into, we need to do something. We need to band together and start pumping up the other companies, like the Christian companies that are putting good movies and with good, wholesome messaging. Like the movie Nefarious there was like killing and everything in it too. It was just like, it wasn't like it was just a good movie, right? And it gave you the side of the devil, which nobody sees before, right? And it was, I don't know, it just, I left that movie going, wow, it's a good movie. Anyway, I know we need to wrap up, but
man, like Rabbi will be here soon.
Yes. Our next guest is coming in.
Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, be aware of the things that you do consume from a visual perspective and an audio, like the things you listen to, the things you hear, the things you put in your body. There's a lot of effort towards bringing you and making you just feel lifeless, like have no gusto within you. It's the food you eat is clouding your thinking. It's making you not really have your own ideas. You're becoming a parrot. So our whole objective with today's show is just to bring awareness to what's going on out there. It's essentially spiritual warfare that's happening against us, and some of us are not aware of it. So when you see these programs that they're putting in front of you through TV or radio or music, look behind the curtain and understand that this is actually meant to give you certain ideas that you're supposed just to parrot to other people. They're not really your ideas, but you start making this your way of life. So that was the whole premise of this podcast today. Do you see any parting words that you want to give?
Yeah, I would. First off, if you're watching something that doesn't sit well with you,
does it feel like in your gut?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
First off, stop watching it unless it's for educational purposes, but I'd be careful of that. Second thing is that I'd say is start researching where maybe the author or sort of the writer is coming from. You'd be surprised how many of these stories where they're rooted. If you look at, for example, the UN, like a lot of their teachings we've talked about in the past, are rooted with H.P. Blavatsky and whatever name of the other Satanists and stuff too. Like a lot of their teachings are based on satanic teachings. Know that. And like, listen, go on their websites. A.C. Bailey, not A.C. Bailey. Her last name is Bailey, Alice Bailey. Alice Bailey, H.P. Blavatsky are two well-known huge Satanists that wrote and like created Lucifer Trust. And the UN uses their teachings to fulfill their agenda. So be careful. So I would look a little deeper. Look a little deeper in these movies. Look who the writers are. Where does it come from?
You even see their UN logo. Speaking of it, it's the ice wall.
The flat
Predictive. They're telling us.
But we're the crazy ones,
man. Anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. This is the DC Talks podcast with David Chinelli. I've been your co-host, gracious as always, Agent 00. And we'll see you for episode 60 next week with Rabbi, DC Stylist.
There you go.
Ciao. Boom. Peace.